Welcome to Fun with Creationist Logic 3. Here's my self-appointed teacher, the Internet Pastor.
I've got a little geography quiz for you. What do Christianity and Australia have in common? Give up? Alright. Both Christianity and Australia are existential paradoxes. Now, a paradox is, well, of course they are. A paradox is what you get when you have two separate realities that are true about the same entity.
When it would seem to be impossible or unlikely for both facts simultaneously to be true, why omit that part from your definition? And without consulting the dictionary, I know that existential means derived from experience. But do please go on. I can't wait to learn how Australia is an existential paradox.
Australia is both a country and a continent.
There is no reason why a country should not also be a continent, so where is the paradox? But if this is an existential paradox, then experiencing the country of Australia should be different from and incongruous with experiencing the continent of Australia. Here's a picture of someone experiencing the country of Australia. Note the Sydney Opera House in the background. And here's a picture of someone experiencing the continent of Australia. Note the Sydney Opera House in the background. Using words without knowing what they mean impresses only those who also don't know what they mean.
Atheists, with evolution as their creation story, believe that everything goes from chaos to order without any divine assistance whatsoever. It just happens. That is a direct assault on one of the primary laws of known physics, which says everything goes from order to chaos without intelligent intervention.
This so-called law does not appear in any peer-review paper or any standard physics textbook. Instead, scientists prefer the second law of thermodynamics, which states, in a closed system, entropy increases until equilibrium is reached. If you like your physics dirty, here's the second law in equation form. To express the law in terms a creation scientist might understand risks rendering it inaccurate, but with that warning, we could say that order leads to chaos without the addition of energy. Since evolution was mentioned, let's see how evolution does not violate the second law. This is not difficult. I agree that a bacterium is less complex than a primate, and so is closer to the root of the evolutionary tree, so we could say that order increases over time. Biologists say that evolution happens on planet Earth, however. If planet Earth were a closed system, then the second law would apply, but anyone can tell that Earth is not a closed system every time they feel the warmth from the sun, and without the sun, even if life could exist on Earth, then it certainly wouldn't have the variety it does. The sun, of course, is beautiful, but not intelligent. A creationist might argue that an intelligent being put the sun there. That is simply the next retreating point in a retreat which has no end.
If that weren't enough, they also believe that the entire universe, several billion years ago, was nothing more than a mass of subatomic particles gathered in a relatively small, huddle of sorts, and this huddle contained everything. Nothing existed outside of the huddle. No space or time or anything. What makes this fairy tale so deeply troubling is they believe the huddled mass of particles began to rapidly expand. Yeah, that's right. Now, according to real science, if something expands, it will always displace something else. It will be taking up more space in the room, so to speak. So if the huddle was expanding, what exactly was it displacing? What is it expanding into if, as the deranged atheists believe, the mass of particles was everything.
What did the Big Bang expand into? We can speculate about what, if anything, lies outside the universe, but we cannot acquire any data about it. We don't know if the term outside the universe even means anything. The hypothesis of displacement presupposes that whatever the universe expanded into has a time-space continuum whose nature and physical laws are similar to those within the known universe. I'm sure a Nobel Prize awaits anybody who can show experimental verification of such a presupposition. In 1929, astronomer Edwin Hubble made what is arguably the most important scientific discovery ever, that the universe is expanding, and that the further away a distant galaxy is, the faster it's receding from us. This 80-year-old knowledge suggests that the universe was once much smaller, and all matter closer together. Current calculations put the age of the universe at between 13.5 and 14 billion years. This picture is one of the most distant events yet recorded, an explosion with a very high redshift factor, indicating that it happened around 500 million years after the Big Bang. This picture, from the Hubble Ultra Deep Field Scan, shows galaxies billions of light years away, which means that they are billions of years old. Anyone who wishes to challenge this on the grounds that their preferred scripture disagrees has a lot of work to do. Reality is not obliged to conform to scripture. The universe is not obliged to make any sense at all, and so scientists are not obliged to explain the universe to creationist satisfaction. The ideas we have about the Big Bang are complex and not fully formed or fully tested. It's hardly surprising we cannot provide all details about a unique event which happened so long ago. But is there a better way to understand the physical universe than by examining it? Examining the universe means conducting experiments, recording observations, and thinking about it. That doesn't detract from the simple pleasure of just looking at our world and the wider universe. Making arguments from ignorance, from theological bias, or from personal incredulity, and knocking down straw man arguments is not the way to discover the nature of the universe. Thank you for watching.